While most of the country is prepping for a few days off filled with family and food, the Dallas Cowboys hospitality staff is hard at work this week. Rather than the standard hot dogs and popcorn served at most NFL stadiums on game day, Cowboys fans will enjoy a different kind of spread when the Giants come to town tomorrow. Over 13,000 pounds of turkey, 5,400 pounds of ham, 310 gallons of gravy, and enough cornbread, green beans, and pecan pie to feed a small village. These foods don't mean Jerry Jones wants to change the menu to some of his favorite foods. It means it's Thanksgiving in the NFL. Like apple pie and ice cream or Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper, football and Thanksgiving are a timeless pairing in America. The NFL has always held games on Thanksgiving, hosting 6 Turkey Day games starting all the way back in 1920. The tradition then expanded in 1934 when the Detroit Lions used the holiday to drum up interest for their recently relocated franchise, getting 26,000 fans to show up in Detroit to watch the then back-to-back world champion Chicago Bears play the Lions. Back-to-back world champion Bears? Man, times had changed. Not one to avoid attention, though, the Dallas Cowboys saw the fan reaction in Detroit and decided to join the party 32 years later. Cowboys general manager Tex Schramm even got the NFL to guarantee gate revenue, since, at the time, it was no certainty that fans outside of Detroit would want to leave their house on Thanksgiving to watch football. However, to everyone's surprise, the Cowboys didn't need the NFL to backstop their losses. That's because more than 80,000 fans showed up, a then franchise attendance record, to watch the Cowboys beat the Browns at the Cotton Bowl, and a new tradition was born. Every year, the Lions and the Cowboys are now guaranteed as home teams on Thanksgiving Day, hosting a matchup for their fans almost every year for the last 75 plus years. The Lions are always given the early window, while the Cowboys play later in the day, rotating through various opponents, but most frequently taking on teams like the Bears or the Packers. The NFL has kept this tradition alive for many reasons, but mainly because it has worked. You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And the NFL Thanksgiving Day slate is anything but broken. Last year's 3 Turkey Day games brought in 133 million viewers, the second highest Thanksgiving Day total audience on record. That included 33 million viewers for the Packers-Lions early window game and another 42 million for the Cowboys-Commanders matchup in the afternoon, the latter of which being the highest-rated regular season game of the entire 2023 season. Those are all great numbers for the NFL, but they're even better when compared to other US sports leagues who try to emulate a holiday lineup. For example, the NBA, which has tried to make Christmas Day the NBA equivalent of Thanksgiving football, averaged fewer viewers for all 5 of its Christmas Day games last year combined than the average viewership of the least watched Thanksgiving Day NFL game last year. And now, the NFL has taken it a step further, with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and the league's 32 owners trying to reach a goal of $25 billion in annual revenue by 2025. The NFL sold its first ever Black Friday game to Amazon last year for $100 million. The Black Friday game was a surprise to many, not just because the NFL was adding another primetime game to its schedule, but because it was long believed that having a game on Friday was actually against the law. The Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 is a law that allows the NFL to pull together its TV rights into a single entity instead of requiring NFL teams to secure their own TV deals. Basically, this antitrust exemption helps small market NFL teams survive, and this model is still in use by the league today. However, Congress knew that allowing the NFL to package its media rights into one entity would create a monopoly, so they added a very important clause to protect high school and college football, essentially saying that the NFL couldn't hold games on Fridays and Saturdays during the fall. That's why you only see NFL games on Saturdays after the college and high school football seasons have ended. But, as Lester Freeman from The Wire would say, all the details matter. When you read through the specifics in the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961, the legal language is very specific, explicitly stating that the NFL can't hold games between 6 p.m. on Fridays to midnight on Saturdays, starting from the second Saturday in September all the way to the second Saturday in December. So, the NFL, being the legal experts that they are, circumvented the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 by hosting its first ever Black Friday game at 3 p.m., 3 hours before the exemption window starts. Now, it's easy to see why a Black Friday game is good for the NFL. They can sell the exclusive game for $100 million and pull in another large viewership number, but it's even more important for a streaming partner like Amazon. Amazon has been active in the premium sports rights market over the last few years, seeing sports as a way to attract new Prime members and reduce churn. And the results have clearly been positive immediately. Ahead of their first ever Thursday Night Football game, Amazon garnered more Prime signups than any other 3-hour period in the company's 30-year history. However, the Black Friday game is a different animal altogether. Unlike the Thursday Night Football broadcast, which requires a Prime subscription to watch, Amazon makes its Black Friday game free to everyone, as long as you're willing to submit your email. Now, why would they do this? Well, for starters, it helps Amazon convert more football fans into subscribers, but also because they can. And they can thanks to advertising deals. With Amazon able to make a chunk of its $100 million investment back to 30-second in-game advertising spots that sell for $650,000 to $750,000 this year. But the real goal isn't about an immediate return on investment. At the end of the day, Amazon is hoping they can use the NFL's extremely popular content to convert traditional brick-and-mortar shoppers into online buyers. You see, Amazon has spent the last few years building an interactive advertising platform. The tech behind this product is insane and kind of scary, but the easiest way to explain it is that Amazon can show ads to specific people based on their platform search history. For example, the headphone company Bose ran 3 different commercials during last year's Black Friday game. The first spot featured Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow and was delivered to non-Prime members. The other 2 spots, however, featured different products and were only shown to Prime members based on what their specific search history showed they were most likely to purchase. What's even crazier is that these ads are shoppable, meaning viewers can put the item in their cart and check out with just a few clicks, all without ever leaving the broadcast. Big Brother has truly arrived, and its name is Alexa. Brands can then retarget these viewers after the game via Amazon's demand-side platform. And while last year's game put up a relatively small viewership number by NFL standards at just under 10 million, that was mostly because the team's starting quarterbacks were injured, an issue that isn't prevalent in this year's Chiefs-Raiders matchup. This type of broadcast is just a sneak peek into the future. Here's VaynerMedia CEO and long-suffering Jets fan Gary Vee explaining the potential of this setup.
What's really interesting about this Black Friday game on Amazon, especially for the people that watch this show, is when you think about the Super Bowl commercials, in my opinion, in advertising, is the best ad in the world. Even though it's $8 million, you're getting 130 million Americans to actually watch. Most people don't watch other commercials on TV outside of it. The Black Friday game, especially now that they've moved the paywall away, what's interesting about an Amazon commercial that's different than a commercial on television is the retarget capability of the people that watch it. This ad on Prime, on Amazon, has the potential to change the marketing landscape, because the brands that are smart enough to run QR codes during this, because remember, it's Black Friday. So everyone's in that mindset to buy. Now you're watching football, and these ads are gonna run. There's gonna be a lot of call to action and deals, different than Super Bowl that's trying to make you laugh and build brand. I think there's a sales capability. When I think about what Gillette and Bose are doing with us, my advertising for VaynerMedia, the fact that we can retarget the people on Amazon that saw the ad, the capabilities that these tech companies, like this is where what's so important about this moment is I think it's the watershed moment that takes us to the next frontier of television.
Traditional cable companies just can't compete with this type of marketing technology, and it's a major reason why tech brands like Amazon, Apple, and Netflix are now spending billions of dollars on live sports rights. Advertisers are taking notice too. Amazon had already sold out of all of its advertising inventory for this year's Black Friday game weeks in advance, and the company says 40% of the brands they signed deals with are advertising on Prime Video for the first time ever. In fact, this process is working so well for Amazon, the company just agreed to pay $1.8 billion for an annual package of NBA games starting next season. And guess what? They've already pre-programmed an NBA Black Friday game too. It's a smart investment for Amazon because they'll deploy the same advertising tech across its slate of NBA games while using their NFL Black Friday game as a lead-in for the NBA game on the same day, likely attracting millions more viewers than they would have otherwise. While many people will spend the next few days drowning in cranberry sauce and fawning over Amazon Prime's innovative approach to sports broadcasting, it would also be a mistake not to give credit to the NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell as well. The NFL has the best business model in sports, hands down. Think about it this way. There are only 32 teams. Player costs are fixed via a salary cap. Amortization allows owners to take nearly all of the team's purchase price as a tax deduction, and the league also doesn't have to deal with any of the failing regional sports networks since they sell all of their games nationally. All of that is impressive, but what's even more impressive is how the NFL has quietly expanded its broadcast schedule by creating more of these one-off primetime games. The obvious ones are Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, and the Thanksgiving Day games. But now, they've also added Christmas Day, Black Friday, and even Peacock's exclusive NFL playoff game that started last year. These games have added hundreds of millions of dollars to the NFL's balance sheet without negatively impacting the value of their larger national TV deals. And more importantly, it's a big reason why team valuations could reach $20 billion over the next decade. So as you spend the next few days eating boatloads of food while surrounded by family and friends, just know that the NFL is quietly taking over not just Thanksgiving, but any holiday they can get their hands on. And if that's not an American tradition, I don't know what is. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.